Hi, I'm Caitlin and I'm an occupational therapy student. In this video, I will show you activities using everyday items that develop fine motor skills required for dressing. These activities can be done with children aged 2 to 5 and even beyond. Depending on the child, you can even start a little bit earlier, but don't be surprised if they don't get the intended outcome. They just might not be ready, and that's totally okay. Just try again in a few more months. In these videos, I will show you the activity, how to create the needed resources, and some examples of how to use these resources in play. This video is just to give you the very basics and to show you the general skills. Feel free to have fun with the concept and make it your own. Don't be limited by this short video. Let this video be the seed and water it with your imagination to flourish. As long as the basic task is incorporated, they're learning the skill. Come along and let's explore.
So look, today here we're going to be looking at zips. So zips require bilateral hand coordination as you're using both hands together. One to do the zip and the other to stabilize. So with stabilizing, you use a tripod grip, which is these two fingers and your thumb, and you're going to use that to hold the bottom of your jacket. The pincer grip, which is your forefinger and thumb, holds the zip. So this helps you go up and down, up and down. Now, if you're going to go up, you need to move your stabilizing hand to the top there, and then the zip pulls down. Up, down, up, down. So you also require open thumb web space, which is what we call this area here. So if you squish that completely, your finger and thumb can't touch each other at the tip anymore. So you lose that precision of the grasp. That's why we do make sure that there's that gap. So you also need pinch strength. You need that strength in your pinch to pull the zip up, and you need hand-eye coordination to pull it down. Now, what makes zipping up a jacket even harder is that it's working on a vertical plane. So we're going to move it to horizontal because that's just much easier for little kids and their little fingers. So now let's do the activity. So for this activity, you're going to require a plastic or cardboard container, some ribbons, like that, of various sizes and lengths. You're going to require some scissors if they're not already cut to size, and you're going to need some paper bread tags or plastic. Plastic is actually easier. So let's get started on this activity. For this activity, luckily, I already have a container with holes on the sides, so I don't need to put any holes in there. If you have a cardboard box, put those holes in there, otherwise you can't do this activity. So here we go. We're going to grab some ribbon, and we're going to pop the ribbon right there, and then we're going to tie it in both sides, like so. You want the ribbon to be very, very tight, okay? You don't want it to be slack. If it's slack, it's much harder for the little kitties to do. Now, as you can see, I did it too slack, so I'm have to tightening it up. Tight, 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 tight. The looser it is, the harder it is, so you want it tight. And then all you have to do is put your bread tag on there, the bread tag, sorry. And then, see, I'm just putting on a few to show you. Yep. So then you use your pincer grasp on the bread tag, see there, with the open thumb web space, and then you stabilize with your other hand. See, there we go, tripod, holding that. And then you stabilize the container and pull the thing across. Now, with the very thin ribbon, you don't need the stabilizing hand as much. That comes when you're using a thicker ribbon because there's a lot more friction. And when you got more friction, you need to more stabilize. So there's more force really being used. So here is some other examples of some ribbon, some thick ribbon. As you can see, I'm putting this bread tag on the thicker ribbon to show how it works. And it's much harder to pull across, and it doesn't even really want to stay on there. So that's how you can make this activity harder, is by using a thicker ribbon and then another extra thicker ribbon. After you've done all three of those different rhythm widths, you can then try this exercise, which is just tying it onto one end of the container. So as you can see, I'm going to tie it here. And this is where the hand-eye coordination comes in more, and just also an understanding of your own strength, because you're going to have to hold with your tripod grasp the ribbon not too tight and not too loose. So if you pull At the perfect tension, nothing moves. But if you pull too hard, the container moves. And if you keep it too loose, you can't pull the zip/bread tie down. The first time you do this activity, I suggest just putting one bread tag on each ribbon, because if you put more than one, they tend to want to pull them all across, as you can see here. Even with prompts saying, just do one. No, they just wanted to pull them all across. Another example of an activity is to do some counting. So if they're a bit more forward progressed cognitively, you can try using it as a counting game.
There are plenty of games you can play with these. You just need to use your imagination. Chances are the child you're talking to has already come up with their own game. So get them involved, get them planning, and get onto it. I've been Caitlin. Thank you for joining.